CM Punk has WWE fans talking. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why they're talking, how he got them talking, and why it's so significant. Because CM Punk's WWE run, it's off to a great start. He is back in WWE, and he has been on a tear, something in which fans, including myself, really never thought we would see in our lifetimes. Or at least ever, right? I mean, we'd all be dead. Anyway, so CM Punk he's a household name. He's one of the biggest stars in the history of the business. And I can see why some would say that may be a reach. Now, hear me out. Think about what CM Punk was able to do. He's a trailblazer in the sense that he was able to open doors that, or at least help open doors that were not open previously in WWE. As a smaller guy who didn't fit the image of what Vince McMahon at the time wanted, a guy that was on the smaller side, not a bodybuilder, had tattoos, was kind of scruffy. They wanted to fire him early on. It was Paul Heyman who saved his career, saved his job in WWE. He then went and started to make history, whether at the time he set the record for one of the longest reigns of WWE champion. I think he said at the time it was the longest modern day reign. Obviously, Roman Reigns absolutely crushed it. Whether it be his infamous pipe bomb promo in 2011, whether it be him having classic matches with John Cena and Bryan Danielson, him leaving WWE, the way he left WWE, him continuously being able to get responses year after year, multiple years after leaving the company by the fans during events. His return to AEW, what he was able to do there, and also how he was also departing. His return to WWE in November of 2023 and every single thing that has gone on since then. He returned at Survivor Series in Chicago. One of the loudest pops you will ever hear in your life. It's still surreal to go back and watch. And he's done a lot of good things since returning, regardless that he's only worked a handful of matches. I believe 3. He worked 2 house shows against Dominic Mysterio and then the Royal Rumble. Suffered a torn triceps during said match. He was slated to finally achieve his goal of main eventing WrestleMania. He was going to challenge Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title, and that moment was robbed of him due to injury. So why is CM Punk doing this? Let's talk about it. So, CM Punk, he is definitely still in the honeymoon phase of being back with WWE, something in which he wanted to do for quite a while. Now, this is what WWE fans are talking about because there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of conflicting reports, and to be honest with y'all, this is my second time recording this video because things have changed so much from where we started to now where we're at. Okay, so it was initially reported that Punk was trying to restructure his WWE deal after returning to WWE. Now, WrestlePure's first reported that Punk was trying to get his deal restructured. He also noted that he believes Punk is under a 3-year deal. The way he described it was both sides are happy, and Punk's like, you know what, if all else goes well, I'd like to be here for a while and then eventually take over NXT. Then things really took a turn on Wrestling Observer Radio because Uncle Dave Meltzer reported that Punk was under a short-term deal that was expiring, and the two sides are working on an extension. Then he backtracked and said, well, the current deal has rollovers, meaning, okay, it's a deal, but it has rollovers, so say it expires next Tuesday, it'll roll over where he's still under contract until Wednesday. He didn't clarify as to whether or not it was a 3-year deal or whatever. Then PW Insider came out and really put a stamp on how things are working. They confirmed WrestlePure's report that Punk is under a 3-year deal. That would carry him through November 2026. And keep in mind that this does not factor in the possible time that he missed due to injury and time being added on. It was said that the two sides are talking about a new deal, but WWE are the ones who approached CM Punk about working out a new deal, and they are seeking to lock in what was described as a bigger deal. Two sources used that terminology. It was stated that some thing the company instigated, not Punk. Okay, so my confusion. So it was not CM Punk that went to management. It was WWE going to him saying, hey, this is what we need to get done. Now, one source also told them that the company would want to get a new deal done because it's a quote-unquote new world, huge numbers, merch, and socials. Now, WrestleVotes also noted that the company is extremely happy with Punk's attitude, commitment, drawing power, both TV and social media numbers, and the big merchandise sales that he's bringing in. It's safe to say that they want to continue this momentum that he has as long as possible. Now, there may be other reports on that, but I wanted to at least make A, an updated version, and B, to make sure that the facts were as straight as much as possible, because there was so much confusion and confliction, and it's like, okay, let's talk about this in the right way. Now, in the remainder of this video, I'm going to talk about why I don't think Punk should sign a longer-term deal, and here's why. Okay, few things we need to break down here. First of all, do I think this is going to happen? Maybe. No one has a crystal ball. What I can tell you is this. CM Punk wanting to sign a very long contract with WWE, I think is actually a mistake. It's a mistake right now. Now, if we're 3 years down the line when his existing deal is up, or 2 years down the line, then yes, we can go back to the drawing board. We can discuss the potential of signing a new deal. Here's why. Just like in AEW, CM Punk legitimately not WWE, saying that he left pro wrestling in 2005 when he signed with WWE. And it wasn't until September or August of 2021 that he returned to pro wrestling. He was in a honeymoon phase then. Everything was going well then. And then he wanted more and more power. And then things started to go downhill. We know he got into the infamous Brawl for All, or All Out Brawl Out. And then he is injured. He's on the sidelines. He's suspended. He comes back multiple months later, something in which he did not want to do because he wanted to go back to WWE because he wanted to have an actual boss. He then gets into another fight with Jack Perry. Where are we at right now? He's had 3 matches in WWE, hasn't been back full-time, right? He's only been around for a few months in terms of full-time week in, week out. It's here and there, and oh, it's good to see you kind of thing. What's going to happen in a year? What's going to happen when Triple H tells him no? Right? You can't do that. What's that going to be like? Do you really want to be locked down to a 5, 7, 10-year deal? Like, how long are we talking? Also, what if you want to leave? They probably won't let you out of your deal. It was a headache for him to get out of his initial deal, right? Why is it that CM Punk is so insistent on this? He's in the honeymoon phase. Everything's great right now. What's going to happen, though, when you get that first taste of adversity? That would be my question for Phil. Now, he's slated to take on Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. And I love the way that they've been able to do this feud. It's actually been quite fun, right? They've brought in Seth Rollins. He's going to be the special guest referee. Punk has screwed Drew McIntyre on 3 different occasions, right? Of holding the championship and walking out of the freaking arena as champion. He screwed him over at WrestleMania 40 when Priest took the title from McIntyre after McIntyre had beat Seth Rollins for the world title. He screwed him again when McIntyre was wrestling Damian Priest in overseas at Clash at the Castle. And then obviously most recently, McIntyre, he cashed in Money in the Bank, made a triple threat between Priest, himself, and Seth Rollins, only to screw him out of a triple threat match and now we're going to get it. This has been one of the best feuds WWE has ever done from a storytelling standpoint. Bravo to Drew McIntyre and CM Punk for what they've been able to do. Bravo to WWE for allowing these guys to go out on a limb and do the things that they're doing. So much freaking fun, y'all.